as we leave the dock.
Welcome on board this boat. My name is Kitty and I will be your guide here on this tour. And I don't know what you've seen so far, so I'm just going to tell you everything. If I'm talking too much, then you just say stop or something in an hour. I won't say any more. But right now we are approaching the Little Mermaid very soon. Yes, some of you already seen her. Otherwise I don't hope it's a big surprise that she's very little. So she's placed on a stone in front of us in the water. And in 2010, the Little Mermaid is going on an exhibition to China for about 10 months. That's the Expo 2010, and she'll be a part of the Danish Pavilion. And at the moment, there's a big competition in Denmark where people are trying to see what they want to have to instead. So some said, "Oh, Chinese art," and some want to have some other Little Mermaids. So it's going to be, I guess, within half a year, some people will know what we'll get instead. But I guess it's also quite unusual that we send the symbol of Denmark away, but apparently some politicians thought that might be a good idea. So I don't hope too many tourists will be disappointed the next 10 months in 2010. And one thing you might notice in this tour is that this harbour used to be an industrial harbour. And the Royal Yacht is placed outside here in front normally in the summertime, but unfortunately at this time it's already necessary to place in the northern part of Sweden at this time. It cost a 2.5 billion Danish kroner, but it was financed by the criminal foundation of the city, who regave the Opera House to Denmark. And there's been many discussions about the Opera House, especially because the harbour is something to discuss the harbour, so everyone has opinions about how it's going to develop and what to do, etc. And for instance, if you have a look here at the roof, the architect said it's very inspired by these cranes in front, so it still has a bit of this industrial roof. Privately owned, and the other half is actually given by, so every year they're asking, or every year there's some new, what do you call them, little people, little people on board the ship, little sailors, every year. Anyways, every year there's these people starting off to go a year away or abroad with this traineeship, and it's private based, so that means that every year they need to look how much money do they have. So sometimes they only go to Germany, but if they do have lots of money, they go maybe to the States or other places. This area we're now approaching as well, there's many creative schools in this area. They're trying to put all the universities and all the creative schools together, so the universities are in a certain part of the town, and over here we have the Opera House, we have the architect school, the film school, the music school, and the Royal Music School, and all these things are placed here in this area. And in case if you're very cool, I don't know.
Boathouse, old boathouses that are now converted into office space. Long rectangular buildings facing the water.
The boat pool into apartments now. It's very special and also very expensive. But it is in the middle of the city and it's a very peaceful area still, though they have Copenhagen on the opposite side. There's almost no cars here. To get over here. So if you're standing in the center of the city, which is opposite, or where you see the big warehouses in front of us, then it can almost take half an hour to go to the Opera House. So at the moment we have this public transport on water, or water bus, but it's not very effective because you can only have about 70 people on board, and imagine there's 50 or 1,500 people at a concert, so yeah. It's an extension of the Royal Theatre, and if you have a look here on the top, it's covered by cover. So that would be green in about 20 years' time when it oxidizes. And it's already won 2 international prizes for its lighting in there because it's really, really pretty. And Yeah, the playhouse here already now is a bit more successful than the opera house because it's in the middle of the city. They have a cafe here. It doesn't look very that particular use right now, of course, because people are inside. But during the day, many people are using this area just to have a look inside the playhouse or to have a little coffee or something. So in that way, it's very successful, and hopefully with time the opera house will be having the same sort of light around it. Turned into houseboats, very popular here. And then there's one here in the front with 2 pavilions on, and that's now a restaurant which you can rent by parties. It's very, very nice. They used to transport cows in that before, so you can definitely change an old ferry to something nice. And then in the front in a little while you'll see a very nice houseboat as well, very, very special. And I know the guy who's living in the houseboat in front of us, he's doing a lot to try to make it more easier for people to live in houseboats in the harbour. We won't see the southern part of the harbour, but down there we have lots of new apartments, and that means that when there's an area full of new apartments, it's not that creative or it's not that full of energy or life. So hopefully by having more houseboats down there, we can get more life into the harbour. And the first one here in front of us will be very, very low again.
It's also a turn.
No, we didn't go through this before.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not only narrow and low, it's also a turn here. Makes it even more interesting.
So this was the worst bit.
It's where we just came from.
We don't have that anymore, unfortunately. Last year, the last fishmonger, she stopped, so now we have a Christmas ball in here, one of the, I say. But in front of us here, I'm not sure if you can see that well yet, but it's a tower. And down. So this one is from 1928. House is the Danish Parliament, the Supreme Court, and the Queen's Sex Rooms. In front of the Cananls statue of King Frederick VII. And he was the one who signed the Danish Constitution in 1849. And down in the basement of Christiansborg Palace we have still remains from the first palace or castle that was sitting in, that was Bishop Absalon's castle. You can still see remains of these castles just down in the basement. And another bridge in front here. The building just to your left after the bridge, that's Holmen's Church, and that's where the Queen was married, and now past this building, or it used to be the Danish Stock Exchange. So it's merchandise and stuff, so not like a modern stock exchange today. There's different unions in there. But it was also built by King Christian IV, and this was finished around 1640.